Pay attention, it's not Jane Street. This coming from Rand Nooner. We've all been blaming the cryptocurrency bump on the Jane Street investigation story. Guys, there are other factors involved here. I know we did see Bitcoin move up significantly as of the time of this recording. It is retracing, so you got to pay attention to the overall picture on the 1 hour time frame. And I talked about this a little bit this morning. We're doing okay, but we still have to get up past significant levels of resistance to really kind of have faith in this idea that Bitcoin is going to see higher highs in the near term. I did a video this morning, which I will link up here in the top right hand corner if you guys want to watch it, all about Jane Street, the investigation, and crypto market and opposing views on this. Well, we have the Clarity Act, and on Polymarket, it's looking like people are betting that it will be signed into law in 2026, that there's a 70% chance of that. Of course, this on the heels of Eleanor Terrett. She posted this. So Mark Andreessen and Chris Dixon of Andreessen Horowitz spoke at a lunch with Republican senators today, emphasizing the need to pass crypto market structure legislation and secure U.S. leadership in crypto and artificial intelligence. So this is big. When you get big hitters in the room, these are the guys that have the money and the influence. Colin McClune did post also, great meeting. Today was primarily about the path forward for crypto market structure legislation. AI came up as well. Important that the U.S. remains the global leader for both technologies. There is this pervasive sentiment where, the U.S. has to be the leader in the industry. There are a lot of other players involved, including China. And, we got to get it going, guys. Wendy O also commenting $69,000 Bitcoin, an instant pump the moment Jane Street gets called out. So back to this Jane Street story. It's big in the headlines right now, so I can't really ignore it. But guys, we still have more to go. I don't know who created this chart. I don't believe it was Wendy, but this is exactly how crypto rolls in a bear market. More than just the tip here, okay? Okay. The Fed must lower interest rates. And we have all these price lines, right? As we're moving down the chart, I do suggest you watch the screen if you guys aren't watching the screen right now. Hopium levels back up here, as we're coming down the range of hell. Of course, the first time we're kind of just ranging, praying and hoping for new highs. I'm going to tell everyone I will buy the dip here, and then you don't. I should have bought the dip there, of course. No more Jane Street 10 a.m. slam. I'm monitoring the situation. Now we're down 50%. A lot of people are saying that. I'm sure that's in and around $68,000. But guys, I still don't think we have seen the worst of it yet. I had to return my leased car and sell my Rolex and Pokemon cards. That would be at $54,009. Then McDonald's won't even hire me because AI took my job. Boy, how times have changed, and finally it's over when we do get under $50,000. If you guys want to see where I'm buying the dip, I'm not taking this literally. I'm using my brain. Unfamiliar, and that Bitcoin has repeatedly gone through brutal 70% plus pullbacks, and longtime investors have learned to expect the volatility. Listen to this.
You want to talk about the crypto winter that we're in the midst of right now. As we've spoken about quite a bit over the last few weeks, Bitcoin has regularly seen, during its lifespan, drawdowns of more than 70%. Is this drawdown different, though, 50% from its October highs, because of the institutional adoption, because of support from regulators in Washington?
Yeah, Tim, it's a really good question. I think the observation that we've seen this before in Bitcoin is completely accurate. We've been helping investors gain exposure to Bitcoin since 2017 at Bitwise. We've been through bear and bull markets, those 70% drawdowns that you mentioned. So we've seen this before. We're used to this kind of volatility in crypto, and our clients expect this kind of volatility. Now, I do think this time is different than before for a number of reasons that you highlighted. We have massive long-term tailwinds that we believe will propel the market higher over the long term, but investors get anchored on short-term news and negative headlines and this volatility that they're seeing, and they forget the long-term thesis for Bitcoin has never been stronger. We have regulatory tailwinds, we have institutional adoption, we have the rise in demand for hard assets like gold and Bitcoin. All of those things are long-term catalysts that we believe will push Bitcoin significantly higher over the next 5, 10 to 20 years.
Well, yeah, 5, 10, 20 years, of course. We got regulatory tailwinds, growing institutional adoption, and rising demand for hard assets like gold and Bitcoin. This is not going to change, but clarity, guys, that's going to push it over the finish line. Paul Barron posting this. Christine Lagarde was on CBS, Face the Nation. And here's what she had to say. Clarity is key.
Did you hear and get any clarity from Ambassador Greer about what's going to happen next?
I'm not so sure. It's a bit like driving. you want to know the rules of the road before you get in the car. It's the same with trade. It's the same with investment. You want to know what the rules are, and you want to avoid having to, come back and claim tariffs back, because this is just not the purpose of people doing business. They want to do business.
You need to know the rules of the road. And I think clarity is the issue. I'm not talking about just the Clarity Act. Clarity Act is needed for crypto. Clarity in general is needed for the global economy. Clarity is needed for global agreements. And then you have just the need for clarity in the infrastructure of how we're going to do business. That's another factor that's still up in the air, mainly because of the advancement of what we're seeing right now in technology and crypto as leading the way. So I agree with her. It is probably should be the word of the year is clarity.
Whether it's in the crypto market, whether it's in traditional markets or any other kind of facet in life, clarity is important to draw the rules of the road. And we're all, bound by the social or even legal contracts in some cases. We have to have clarity to keep moving forward. And, appropriately, the Cryptocurrency Act is called the Clarity Act, which will be signed hopefully by 2026 as per Polymarkets here. Anyway, wanted to thank Crypto's Russ, wanted to thank Paul Barron, wanted to thank Wendy O, Eleanor Tarrant, and Rand Nooner for posting those. But guys, there's more. SBI Japan Bank announces XRP shareholder benefits. And guys, shareholders could benefit as soon as March 31st, 2026. It says down here, shareholders listed or recorded in the register of shareholders as of March 31st, 2026. They'll get application tickets, okay, which they can use to apply for either a coupon code redeemable for XRP specifically. So SBI is essentially saying, okay, we're going to give a perk of XRP to our shareholders, and it gives some more details down here. Product description over here, it says the selection application ticket. The cryptocurrency is going to be XRP. Ripple Labs is the company that develops and provides solutions utilizing distributed ledger technology, as we know, to enable faster, lower cost international remittances. And guys, what they're doing here, essentially stating to their clients, we are going to give you a coupon to redeem XRP if you're interested. Now, I guess, they still have the option to not do that if they want, and maybe get something in lieu of that. But guys, XRP, obviously valuable if SBI Bank is saying, hey, look, you want a perk? Hold some XRP and maybe that would benefit you in future years. So great news there from Bank XRP. Michael Branch also commenting on Wisdom Tree's recent statement. They see XRP as an institutional payments powerhouse that big players are clamoring to get. So Wisdom Tree highlights XRP's payment innovation, positioning it as a solution tailored for international use. So we know the story. We know Wisdom Tree did file for an XRP ETF, and we know they got it. Wisdom Tree XRP is designed for institutional use. So designed specifically for institutional use. They picked up this Twitter X post from Smoke here. Down here, you can see XRP designed for institutional use and is primarily regarded as a utility token, enabling cost-effective, efficient cross-border payments. But guys, it was designed for institutions, not for retail. We are just very privileged that we hold it and that we continue to benefit from the ecosystem. So according to Wisdom Tree, XRP is built for institutional use, serving as a utility token that enables fast, cost-effective cross-border payments. Unlike traditional banks, which can be slow and expensive, XRP leverages blockchain tech to streamline transactions, offering banks and payment providers unmatched speed and efficiency. So I feel like, what we're seeing now, Wisdom Tree, of course, they're not a huge company compared to some of the big guys like JP Morgan Chase or, some of the big major US banks. But I feel like we're going to continue to see this trending in the same direction where, we have the Wisdom Trees and the Bitwises and, the smaller players issuing ETFs, 21 shares. They obviously see the value in XRP. SBI Holdings obviously has seen the value in XRP for a decade. I mean, they've been partnered with Ripple for a very long time. And I think this is going to start trending up where we'll see JP Morgan saying the same thing. I mean, they did just recently name XRP the most compelling digital asset for institutions. So we're already kind of trending in that direction. So it's great to see that. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. And of course, Smoke, great researcher in the community. StableC and DLocal have joined forces to power low-cost B2B cross-border stablecoin payments as well. So StableC is now a partner of Ripple partner DLocal, and they're enabling high-speed B2B stablecoin-powered institutional or international payments, to businesses. By leveraging DLocal's local payment rails across more than 40 countries, the partnership expands StableC's business global payout and settlement capabilities, giving businesses and treasury teams a more modern alternative to slow, expensive expense of traditional bank wires and correspondent banking networks. So just the other day, we heard, I forget what company it was now, but how they are going to be tapping into SWIFT. But, I think it was Thunes actually, how they're going to be tapping into SWIFT, but considering they're already a Ripple partner, they can essentially plug in to SWIFT and access SWIFT's clients. SWIFT can access them. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And guys, these smaller players have been doing this now for years, enabling faster cross-border payments using the XRP ledger. And so this is just the latest. Traditional cross-border payments were not built for modern businesses. This coming from the CEO and co-founder of StableC. He says, though, by partnering with Ripple partner dLocal, we're combining stablecoin rails with best-in-class local payment infrastructure to give businesses faster, cheaper, and more predictable global settlement. This is how international payments should work in 2026. So obviously, he's a big proponent of that. Some of the key challenges include settlement delays and working capital drag. So this is what they've found, right? Limited visibility and reconciliation friction and extended FX exposure windows. Now that it's 365, right, 24/7, this is going to change the landscape for payments. And, this is going to just be the status quo at a point. And every company is going to eventually have to get on board. Here's another one, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman. Pay integrated Ripple payments into its platform, and XRP NGN payouts for the RLUSD is on its way. Now Pay is eyeing a $1 billion US IPO. So check this out. Full disclosure, I do use Pay. I have a Pay card. I like it. This is not a pay promotion though, but I can tell you guys from my experience, super seamless. It's a great product. Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency payment platform Pay is reportedly planning an initial public offering in the United States. The company is aiming to raise more than $1 billion through the listing, Bloomberg reported, citing people familiar with the matter. The IPO could take place in New York as soon as this year. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And as Wrath of Kahneman does also point out here, remember when Pay did partner with Ripple? This was back just from December of last year. Pay integrates Ripple payments to extend stablecoin reach and launch Send Crypto, Receive NGN. So they're already integrated with Ripple payments. So this is, I think this is just going to continue to expand the ecosystem. Of course, the more people are using XRP ledger related products, the more demand eventually there's going to be for XRP. And that's great for us, right? We want price to go up. We want there to be even more demand than there already is. And this is going to take many different forms. All right, like this. AI agents are moving money unverified. Well, not anymore. This coming from Bank XRP. Remember the other day I was talking about this T54 company. They just raised $5 million in seed funding led by Franklin Templeton, plus a strategic investment from Ripple to build the trust layer of the agentic economy. Guys, this is incorporating AI onto the blockchain, and T54 is doing just that. They just came out with a little promo video explaining. Listen to this.
The agentic economy is here. From your daily payments to billion-dollar treasuries, all managed by AI agents. But how can we trust agents with our money? T54 is the trust layer for the agentic economy. Every agent verified, every transaction assessed for risk, every outcome accountable before money moves. Without trust, the agentic economy doesn't work. T54 makes it possible. Backed by industry leaders.
And you can see there, they had Ripple listed in their, I think it was in their partners list there. Where was it again? Where did I miss it? Was it back over here? Where did we go with that? Here, there it is, Ripple. Some of their major investors include Ripple. So guys, we are seeing a sea change very soon. Even Dark Defender believes that the next move for XRP could coincide with an historic Bitcoin dominance collapse. At this point, I'm a little skeptical of a BTC dominance collapsing. We were expecting this for the last cycle, where altcoins would really kind of take off, and we just did not see it. Let me throw Bitcoin dominance here on the weekly. So we were expecting this for months and months and months and months. And sure enough, we just did not see it. Altcoins collapsed and Bitcoin collapsed at the same time back in October. There was that liquidation event. Usually what we see is money rotating from Bitcoin into altcoins. So what happened, guys? Is there a case for this still? Well, Dark Defender, he still believes that XRP's next leg could align with an historic drop in Bitcoin dominance. He points to the 2017 chart when falling Bitcoin dominance fueled XRP's 70,000% surge. XRP is down nearly 70% from $3.66. So that's the new all-time high for XRP, with $908 million in realized losses. Some see a 1,200% potential upside, while critics call the 2017 comparison kind of flawed. So Dark Defender here looking for this 5-leg down structure. Again, at this stage, I don't see it. Full disclosure here, I personally don't see this happening. I figured I'd bring this to your attention just because it is interesting, but I personally don't see it happening. I think we are still at the mercy of Bitcoin, and I think we are now firmly in a bear market. To think that altcoins are going to pump at this particular point in the cycle, I think is a bit half-baked, if I'm going to be as respectful as possible here. But there you are. Some people believe it, other people don't. Again, I let my Patreon subscribers know exactly what I'm doing in the moment. I think, what's going to be important is the real utility and clarity. Again, back to clarity, what Christine Lagarde was saying, what needs to be passed in 2026, that's what's going to get the bull run up and running. Even Standard Chartered made an official comment about this a few months ago. Once passed, we believe that bank and ecosystem adoption will scale massively. This courtesy of Chart Nerd. Listen to this.
The discussions that we're having are no longer if the banks will participate, but how and under which controls. And we're really excited at Standard Chartered to see the rule finalization happen probably towards the end of next year that will address these components. Another component of having legislation out of the US is that it's really making a statement that digital assets are regulated as part of the financial system, not as a disruptive outsider to it. And once we are able to operate on chain under full regulatory supervision, I believe that bank adoption and ecosystem adoption will scale very, very quickly.
So we will see bank adoption, we will see ecosystem adoption, but that will come with clarity once we've seen that sign into law. Guys, 70% chance as of now. At the moment, we are seeing the speculative market really just kind of play out. Everything is tied to Bitcoin at the moment. This is the XRP chart again on the hourly, and we're seeing a bit of a rebound there for XRP after hitting a high of almost $1.50 back to 149, currently at 145. Guys, where is it going to go next? I have my thoughts. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.